Yeah, I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. And you?
I'm doing pretty well, thanks for asking. Um, and Irving, welcome to class as well. Irving, how's it going?
Hey, hi, it's a going, man.
Doing pretty well, thanks for asking. Um, Irving, I don't know if I've had you in class before. Have I had you?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
yesterday.
Okay, you didn't have the video on, did you?
No, I have a picture.
Okay. Nice. Well, good to see you again, Irving. Irving, how are you doing?
Fine. Just
Okay.
relax after work.
Perfect. That's a good way to be. It's a good way to learn a language if you're really relaxed. Awesome. And so, Tata, what did you do today? What did you do today, Tata?
I am an industrial designer,
Okay.
and my job is design parts for buses.
Nice. That's cool. What did you do today? So, what did you do today? Did you work at your job?
Yes, I work all the day.
Okay. I worked.
Specifically, I works.
I worked all day.
Okay, in the past, I worked all day. Yes,
Nice.
and actually, we are design a fan uh, to buses, a bus fan.
Nice. That sounds really productive and interesting. Okay. Cool. Um, yeah, awesome. And yeah, I think that's about it. Rodolfo, welcome to class. Rodolfo, how are you doing?
Hi, teacher, how are you? I'm very well, thank you.
Nice. It's good to hear. I'm doing pretty well as well. So, Rodolfo, what did you do today?
Today was a typical day for working.
It was a
I
typical day at work. Might be better.
at work.
Yeah, it was a typical day at work.
Okay.
It just sounds a little bit more natural for something that we would also say.
Sometimes I confuse to use at or int.
Yeah, prepositions are really difficult. So yeah, the idea of like at, it, for, with, into, of, off, on, all of
But
those
I think
prepositions.
I make the people understand me. That's the point.
Yeah, that is the point. Exactly. Just whether, it's always nice to point out when you sound a little bit strange,
Yeah.
especially if you're speaking a foreign language. But cool. Um, nice. So typical day at work. Great. Let's get started on today's topic. So we'll be talking about work a little bit as well. Rodolfo, can you read the title and the next couple of lines?
Business presentations. In
Nice.
today's lesson, we will learn new business vocabulary and business positions, talk about giving presentations, practice making business presentations.
Nice. Really good pronunciation. That sounded great. Okay, cool. And let's go on to the next page then. And let's have Rodolfo. Can you ask Ricardo the first question?
What are some ways to give a presentation? Example, PowerPoint, etc.
I respond.
Uh, yeah, if you can respond,
Okay,
Ricardo.
the ways to you can give our presentation, maybe you can use uh, a, a piece of paper or maybe este, PowerPoint or Excel. You can use the computer or you can use the projector or maybe you can use some maybe a meeting. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe you can have a meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. That's perfect. So a piece of paper, a PowerPoint, Excel, you can have a meeting. Awesome job, Ricardo.
Thank you.
Um, okay. Ricardo, can you ask Nayang the next question?
Yes. Have you ever given a presentation at work? Did you enjoy it?
Yes, I I still make a presentation every day because it is deeply related to my job, and I usually uh, enjoy making presentation a lot.
Nice. Really good answer. One thing, how would you change the second part? I enjoy making presentation. It's something that's general that you do every day. How would you change that?
Mm, and
So it's something that you add, something that you add to the word.
at work, right?
Okay, no, so you don't need the prepositional phrase at work. That's not necessary. So we need to change the word presentation because it's a thing that you like doing generally or all the time. So you make these things every day. So how would you change it? So it's a singular noun right now, presentation. How would you change it if it's a habitual action?
You mean the presentations?
Yeah, perfect. Presentation. So you need to make it plural because it's a habitual action. It's something that you do all the time. So I make presentations every day. Because we'd even use the plural pronoun. We'd say they. They are related to my job. Can you repeat those sentences one more time?
Yes, I still make presentations every day because they are related to my job. I usually enjoy making presentations a lot.
Nice, perfect. And what's your job? What's your job now, Young?
I used to be a merchandiser in fashion companies, and now I'm a graduate student.
And now you're a what?
I am a graduate student.
Graduate. And you repeat graduate?
Graduate.
Close. Graduate.
Graduate.
Perfect.
Graduate.
Yeah, nice. So that's a really difficult word, and so I'm going to take a second to kind of explain that word. So it's spelled like that always. So there's one way that we can say it that's graduate. Sorry. Gradu. And then it sounds like 8. We can also say graduate. Graduate. And so graduate is the verb. And so it means to graduate. And if you're a graduate, I'm a graduate student, it's a noun. Actually, I guess it'd be an adjective in this case. I'm a graduate student.
The same pronunciation.
So it's a different pronunciation for the same word that's spelt the same way. So we say, I'm going to graduate tomorrow, but I'm also a graduate. So it could be an adjective or a noun. So it's just a little bit different, but really good. So yeah, really nice job. Good answer as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And okay, Nayang, can you ask Milton the next question?
How many business positions can you name?
CEO, the Chief Executive Officer, Office, I think, Manager, Merchandiser, Analyst, and that's all.
Nice. Okay, that's good. Those are really good ones. Anybody else? Can anybody else think of any other business positions?
CFO.
I didn't hear that. Sorry.
CFO.
CFO. Yeah.
Yeah, Chief Finance. I don't remember.
I think it's Chief Financial Officer.
Yeah, Chief Financial Officer.
Yeah. Any other ones?
Um, engineer.
Yeah, engineer, for sure.
CEO.
Yeah, CEO.
In the picture.
Yeah, definitely in the picture. Okay, good. That's awesome. Really nice work, guys. Let's go on to the next page. And let's have Irving. Can you read the title and the directions?
Yeah. Vocabulary. Read these words. Ask about words you don't know.
Perfect. Really nice job. Irving, can you read the first 4 words?
Diagram. Read all.
Yeah, the first 4 words.
Diagram, handout, object, key point, slide, project.
Okay. Sorry, that's good. The first 4. That was good though. Key point, objective, handout, all sounded good. The only thing I really noticed was diagram. Can you repeat diagram?
Diagram.
Nice. Perfect. So it's got that long I sound. Diagram. Yeah, that sounded really good. And so let's have David. Can you read the next 4 words?
Yeah, Joshua. Slide, projector, outline, and visual aids.
Really perfect. That sounded really, really good. Projector. It's almost got an ER sound at the end instead of an OR sound. Can you repeat projector?
Projector. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Nice job. Projector. Okay. And does anybody have any questions about any of these words? Any questions?
Yeah.
Handout. I don't understand.
Yes, what is the meaning of handout?
Okay. Handout. Does anybody know what a handout is? Can anybody define it?
It's the thing that we are doing now.
Not quite.
Uh,
It's close. It's a general idea.
It's like a date, but with your friends.
Ah, no, that's a little bit different.
Yeah.
That's hangout. Yes.
Ah, that's hangout. Yeah, that's
No, hangout. I don't know what is the meaning.
yeah, that's hangout for sure. So when you hang out with somebody, yeah, that would be a little bit different.
That's a social vocabulary, not a business.
Yeah, no, that's a good vocabulary word to know too. Handout. What's a handout for like a business presentation? Does anybody have any other ideas?
It's a paperwork to share with the other coworkers.
Yeah. So maybe a paper that you share with your coworkers that explains your presentation.
Right.
And even instead of coworkers, you might say with your audience.
Audience.
It's like a flyer.
Sort of like a flyer. A flyer is something that advertises, and a handout is something that explains what people are going to see.
But
It's a preview.
in
It's
that
a preview.
in that kind of piece of paper, it's the same.
Yeah, so an outline is often in a handout. And so it's different than a flyer, if that makes any sense. It's really something that you use to explain the key points or the outline of your presentation. So it's all in the handout. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, good. Any other questions here?
Yeah. Outline, Joshua.
Outline. Okay. Can anybody explain an outline?
Kind of summary of the contents.
Yeah, a summary of the contents. That's good. So an outline has the main points. Has the main points of a presentation. For
But
sure.
it's also like a piece of paper, or it's like in your speech, you say a summary.
Yeah, it's like a summary too. So a lot of times when you're writing an essay, you'll make an outline. When you write an essay, you make an outline to make sure you don't lose the point.
It's like an abstract.
Yeah, it's like an abstract. Exactly. For sure. Yeah, that's an outline. Does that make sense? Does anybody have any other questions about any of these words?
Visual aids. I don't understand that word.
Okay. Who knows what a visual aid is?
Like presentation in PowerPoint.
Yeah,
It's,
a
it's,
presentation in PowerPoint would be an example.
Like
And
images.
it's diagrams or graphics that help in the presentation.
nice, a graphic that helps the presentation. The presentation. Perfect. Really good job. Any other questions? Okay. So if there are no other questions, let's go on to the next page. Let's go on to the next page. And let's read this introduction. And let's have Tata. Can you read the
Yes.
beginning? Can you read the beginning of the introduction?
Okay.
Are you still there, Tata? Okay. Let's move on. Rodolfo, can you read the beginning of that presentation?
Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for finding the time to come and join me for this presentation. This afternoon, my name is Tim Mason.
Mason.
Mason, I'm retail consultant, and many of you will have seen me shadowing you in your boss and looking through the accounts and so on in the company over the last week.
Good. Okay. Really nice job with through. That was a good pronunciation. That's a difficult word. Jobs. Can you repeat jobs?
Jobs,
Nice. Jobs. That's a tough one. Also, finding. Finding.
finding,
Good. Finding. Okay, perfect. Other than that, I think that sounded really good. Okay, and it looks like we've got Tata again. Tata, how are you doing? Can you hear us? Tata, are you there? Okay, let's go on to Ricardo. Ricardo.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Ah, perfect. Tata, can you read the end of this presentation then?
Okay. The underline.
Yeah, the highlighted part.
Okay.
Oh,
I've
shoot,
okay.
sorry. That was my fault. There you go.
Okay. I've invited I've invited you here today to have a look at my findings. First, I'd like to have a look at the performance of the company, the sales of the company over the last 3 years. Then I'd like to have a look at our market share in the women's wear market and look at our competitors. And thirdly, I'd like to suggest some improvements in our range of women's wear. At the end, I'd be happy to answer any of your questions.
Nice. Good reading. Oh, that sounded wonderful. A couple small things. First. Can you repeat first?
First.
Yeah, it almost has an E sound too. So it's like an
Okay.
First.
First.
Nice. That was perfect. And then competitors. Competitors.
Competitors.
Nice. Competitors.
Competitors.
And then women's wear. Women's wear.
I confuse women,
Women.
woman,
Women's wear. Yeah.
women's.
You're right. It's women. Women's wear. Women's wear.
Women's
Women's wear.
wear. Women's wear. Okay.
Yeah. Women's wear. That's actually something that I do as well. All of my friends make fun of me because when people say women, I say woman. So that's one of the problems that I have in my pronunciation. I think thirdly was the only thing else. So thirdly, can you repeat thirdly?
What is that? What is the meaning of thirdly?
Okay, so when we're listing things,
Thirdly.
it's just something in a list. So we can say firstly, secondly,
Okay.
thirdly, fourthly, fifthly, sixthly, seventhly.
Thirdly. Okay.
Like, yeah, thirdly.
Thirdly.
Yeah, thirdly. Good. Nice job. Does anybody have any questions about anything here? Any questions?
Have a look. It's like a summary or of a resume or something.
I'm not sure what was the question again?
Have a look.
Have a look.
Yeah.
So let's have a look at the vocabulary for today. So it's like saying let's just look at. People say have a look.
Okay.
So let's look at. Any other questions?
What is the meaning of the first idea? I've invited you here today to have a look at my findings. What is the meaning of that?
So, okay.
It's about an investigation or something
Yeah,
like
it's kind of like an investigation. So he says he's shadowing. So what does anybody know what it means for somebody to be shadowing? What's it mean for somebody to be shadowing a job?
Yeah, it's like investigate.
Sort of, yeah. So when you're shadowing a job, you kind of stand over the worker's shoulder and just watch what they do. So you just watch all the workers and you see what they do, and you take notes.
When the boss check my job?
Kind of, yeah. It's not always the boss. It's often just kind of like a stranger, and they don't say anything. They just sit and watch you. And so I've invited you here to have a look at my findings. So it's like what he found out from watching them do their jobs. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
An auditor?
Yeah, sort of like an auditor, for sure.
It's making a shadow behind you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually an auditor is in the sense of finances.
Okay.
But yeah, it's really the same idea.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, any other questions here?
Yeah, Joshua, when says in our range of women's wear is like the position that they occupy in the market. Mm,
Um, our range of women's wear. So when they're talking about their range of women's wear, they'd more be talking about like the products that they're selling or giving out. So if they're gonna suggest like improvements in their range of women's wear, the
okay,
range would just be their products.
in the
And
area.
yeah, exactly, the area.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions?
No.
Okay, good. And Jose, welcome to class. Jose, how are you doing?
Hello, everyone.
Nice to see you, Jose. Okay, and so let's go on to the next page. And so let's practice some of these introductions. Rodolfo, can you read the title, the directions?
Try your own. Take turns saying your own introduction for a presentation.
Nice. And can you also read these hints?
Remember to welcome your audience, introduce your subject, outline the structure of your presentation, give instruction about questions.
Nice. I only saw a couple small things. Structure. Structure.
Structure.
Nice. Instructions.
Structure is instructions.
Perfect. Nice. Structure. Instructions. So that sound is often like the sh. Instructions. So you get the hard C with a sh sound right after. But really nice job. Really good reading, Rodolfo. Ricardo, can you try the first introduction?
Welcome to this presentation. I am Ricardo Sanchez, and I will present what about the sales of this company. In this company, for the last 3 years, we are under the target. For that reason, I will try to explain how we can get or improve in the better position in the market. That's all.
Nice. That's awesome. Maybe a couple things. So for that reason, I will explain how to improve our position in the market. Hold on, sorry. Position in the market. Can you read that sentence one more time? The last one I wrote?
Where is the where?
It's in the chat box.
Okay. Let me see. I will present it in the company. For the past 3 years, we have been below our goals. For that reason, I will explain how to improve our position in the market.
Exactly. And so I just missed after present. I didn't actually write down what you said because I couldn't type that fast. But that sounded really good. Yeah, good corrections. So when you're below the standard that you're set, you're under your goals, you're below your goals.
Okay.
Yeah, when you're trying to improve your position or like increase your standing, improve your position in the market is a good way of saying that, maybe. But that was awesome. That was a really good presentation.
Thank
Na
you.
Young, can you try the same thing? Can you try to make a presentation, Na Young?
Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the conference about fashion retailing. My name is Nayoung Jung. I am the retail manager of Nike, and I am presenting today. I would like to make a presentation about the new trend of active sportswear, and I will mainly discuss about the consumer fashion trend and the sales volume of our competitor, including our company, and I will and then we can have a question and answer session, then session to discuss about our future strategies.
Nice. Future strategies. That was so comprehensive. That was really impressive, Nayoung. Yeah, they're really, really good. Welcome to the fashion of it. So the first thing I corrected was just the article. So I'd like to make a presentation about a new trend. So that was just, we're missing an article there. You could even say the new trend. We're also missing a preposition here. What's the preposition that we're missing, Nayoung?
Of
Hmm.
the trend of active sportswear.
Not quite. There's a different one. A new trend of... A little bit different. Yeah, I couldn't make of work. Try something else. You're really close.
O-N.
In. Yeah. Yeah. So I'd like to make a presentation about a new trend in active sportswear.
Okay.
That'd be perfect. And then I will mainly discuss, we would not use the preposition about. So I will mainly discuss consumer fashion trends and sales in our company. And again, so you used about another time at the bottom. Just we wouldn't use that. Prepositions are really, really difficult. It's a hard thing to master, Nayoung. But that was really good. That was awesome. Let's have Milton. Can you make a presentation as well?
I'll try it. Okay. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This meeting is about the position of the market of our company, PepsiCo, because the share of the market is in several numbers. This is about the competition of Coca-Cola. It's the leader of market, and we need to improve our products. Try to put in all the media, all creative images, and all the stuff, because that will help us to improve the numbers of the share of market. And that's all. Any questions? Please tell me.
Nice. That was good as well. Really nice job. The first thing I saw would be the possessive. So it's in the chat box too. I wrote in the chat box because there's not much room on this page. This meeting is about our companies, and that's a possessive S. Companies, so apostrophe S. Position in the market. And Coca-Cola is the market leader. Can you read those two sentences one more time?
Okay. This meeting is about our company's position in the market. Coca-Cola is the market leader.
Yeah. And then the next part, it sounded really good. Your grammar seemed good. Maybe we need to try to advertise more creative images that will help us improve our market share. Can you read that sentence?
Okay, we need to try to advertise creative images that will help us to improve our market share companies.
Yeah, sorry, the companies was just the possessive instead of the plural companies it was before. But that was good. Nice reading. Does anybody have any questions on this page? Any questions? Okay, hopefully not. Let's go on to the next page then. And let's have Irving. Can you read the first paragraph?
If you have a look at the first graph, you can see that our sales topped 15 millions the year before last. The last before sales dropped to 14 millions, with a slight recovery at the end of the financial year. However, this year's sales have continued to drop an all-time low of 30 millions. Now, let's look at our market share. As you can see, we have 25% of the market share, 10% down on last year.
Nice. That was a tough paragraph. Dropped. Can you repeat dropped?
Dropped.
Yeah. So that ed ending is just, it ends up sounding like a T. So dropped. That sounded perfect. The only other thing that I actually saw, financial. Financial.
Financial.
Nice.
Financial.
Perfect. Really good job. Okay. Does anybody have any questions about that first paragraph?
I have a question, Joshua,
Yeah.
because in my job, you usually use the word chart. Uh, for example, if you have a look at this first chart, is that
Yeah,
correct?
for sure. Definitely correct.
Okay,
Chart, graph. I can't tell you the difference, to be honest. I wouldn't know.
the same.
Yeah, I think it's the same. I don't want to say 100%, but fine. I can try to look it up really quickly because it's interesting. Yeah, no, I think it's the same thing. Perfect. So yeah, it'd be the same. Any other questions? Okay. What do you think, David? What does it mean to our sales topped 50 million the year before last? What's that mean?
Sorry, can you repeat?
So, yeah, what's it mean to say you can see that our sales topped 50 million the year before last? What's that mean?
Okay. It says that the the sales in the last year, the top of I mean the roof, the roof, like the most high point was 50 million. Yeah, was the maximum.
Ah, close. It's a little bit different. When you say it topped 50 million, it went over
It's
50
over 50
million.
million. Ah, okay. It passes 50 million.
Yeah, it just passed.
By
So you,
by a few, not much.
exactly. So it was just past 50 million. The highest point was just past 50 million. And so that'd be perfect. But good, really good attempt. You were so close. Let's skip that next part and let's try to practice our own. Uh, David, can you, mm, yeah, David, can you read these recommendations?
Okay. Remember some useful phrases. if you look at this first graph, as you can see, a key factor, if you look at this slide, a good illustration of, now let's look at a good example of.
Nice. Very nicely read. Good pronunciation. David, can you begin to give your own presentation about the body or the content?
Okay, about using that phrases, right?
Yeah, using the phrases and maybe the first graph.
Okay. I will try. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you look this first slide, as you can see, we are the red. Our participation in the market is 25%. I think the key factor could be top 40 or 50% of the market. And and a good illustration of that would be in the slide that is below. And we yeah, the goal is to reach uh, 40 million sales for this year. Yeah.
Nice. This here. Really nice job. Um, okay, so ladies and gentlemen, if you look at this first slide, so just that preposition, again, prepositions are difficult,
Uh-huh.
but we'd say look at the slide. You said we're in the red.
Yeah, I said that we are in
It's a little bit different. So usually if you say we're in the red, it means we're in debt. We are in the red. It's a really common phrase. We are in debt.
yeah, or we are
So
broke.
in this case, we just say we're red, or we're represented by the red. Um, but you could say we are the red. If you say we're in the red, just that preposition makes it sound like we're in debt. We're really bad. So we'd remove the in. We are the red. But yeah, that sounded really good. I mean, other than that, I'd say your grammar was good. A key factor could be attaining or achieving 40
Yeah.
to 50%. Like market share.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think that's good though. So just that small thing, but really nicely done.
Okay, thank you.
Tata, what about you? Can you try using the second graph, and can you make a presentation as well?
Okay. Good morning. My name is Tata. I am make a presentation about our sales reports to the last 4 months, 4 years, every month of the last 4 years. Um, if you can see, this year we are in the lowest level to sales in comparison with the past year, and is uh, necessary change our sales strategy, because the 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 goals is not getting is not get and yet in this part of the year.
Okay, maybe we haven't yet achieved our goal.
Excuse me?
So the last thing, we haven't yet achieved our goal for this year. So if you look
Okay.
in the chat box too,
Uh-huh.
That last thing. Yeah, just we haven't yet achieved our goal for this last year. The last sentence was probably the most awkward, I would say.
Haven't yet achieved our goal for this year. Okay.
And I misspelled haven't. But I think other than that, it sounded good. I'm going to make a presentation. So if you're advertising, that's what you're going to do. So you can say I will make a presentation or I'm going to. So we'd use the future tense right at the beginning.
Okay. The right way is I am going to.
Yeah, or you could say I'm going to. I am going to. I will. Just any sort of the future tense. But we have two different ways of saying that. Yeah, I think that's good. Can you read the presentation that I typed out in the chat box?
Okay. Good morning. My name is Tata. I'm going to make a presentation about our sales reports for the last 4 years. Every month, our sales reports by every month for the last 4 years. Could be.
No, so about. We would use the preposition about. I'm going to make a presentation about or concerning.
Is to not repeat the same sentence for the last 4 years.
Ah. So I think actually in that case, every month for the last 4 years, or you could say every
Okay.
month. Yeah, I think
Okay.
that was fine.
Our sales reports every month for the last 4 years. If you can see, this year we are in our lowest level of sales in comparison with the last or with the same month
With the
in the
last.
last year or the past year. It is necessary it's necessary to change our sales strategies because we haven't yet achieved our goal for this year.
Perfect. Nice job. That sounded good. Okay, really nice. Does anybody have any questions on this page? Any questions? Okay, good. Let's go on to the next page. And let's practice this conclusion. Rodolfo, can you read the conclusion here?
I'd like to thank you for attending today's talk, asking some great questions, but most of all sharing with everybody the challenges you think we will face next year. We still have around 5 minutes. If you do not have any remaining questions, thank you again for attending the talk today. See you again soon. If you have any questions, please stay for another 5 minutes. I would like to answer your questions for you.
Nice. Good pronunciation. The only small thing? Challenges.
Challenges.
Yeah, challenges. Perfect. That sounded great. Does anybody have any questions about this conclusion? Okay. So if there are no questions, let's go on to the next page. And so these are some good hints. Na-young. So can you use these hints to try to create your own conclusion?
You mean try to make any conclusion?
Any conclusion. It doesn't matter if you use the hints or not, but these are just good things to say sometimes.
Okay. In conclusion, consumer is getting. I'm sorry. In conclusion, consumer. In conclusion, the active sportswear market is getting harsh to compete each other, so we need to catch consumers' trend properly to make better marketing strategies.
We need to catch consumer trends properly?
Properly.
Sorry, and what was the last thing you said?
Properly to develop better strategies.
Okay, nice. That sounded good. One small thing, maybe it's becoming saturated. There's too much competition. So when there's too much of something, you can say it's saturated. It's like when a sponge is saturated, it's full of liquid. So oftentimes we can talk about markets as saturated. Yeah. So it means it's full of something. So it's full of competition maybe in this case.
Okay. Saturated.
Yeah. So we need to catch consumer trends. We need to, yeah, I think that's good. I think that actually sounds really fluent. That sounds nice. And Ricardo, what about you? Can you practice giving a good conclusion?
Give conclusions. Yes, so let me summary what I say. In this world, we can sleep in this company because today we are not the only supplier for the customers. In what I say, what I try to say is we need to change for the trend of the customer. That's all.
We need to try to change what?
We need to try to change to the trend of the customer. Trend, yes, of the customer.
Okay, you cut plural because there'd be more than one customer and the trends of the customer. So what is in this company? We can't slip, or the company can't slip, which is really good use of the verb slip. We're not only a supplier, also a really good sentence. What I'm trying to say, we'd use the present progressive because it's right now. I'm trying to say it. What I'm trying to say is that we need to change the trends of the customer. Okay, yeah, I think that's good. Other than that, I wouldn't really change anything. That was really nice. Unfortunately, class is just about over. Does anybody have any last questions before we finish up? Any last questions? Okay, so if there's no other questions, you guys did a really wonderful job. Yeah, it was fantastic. Really, really good work. Hopefully I'll see you guys all again soon. If you do have any questions, feel free to ask me. I'll stick around for a couple seconds after class. But yeah, have a really good day or night, and hopefully I'll see you guys again soon.
Thank you.